Good morning, YouTube. It is Tuesday, May 30th. As always, let's start with the news. I don't know whether to introduce myself to start in the news. As always, I'm Hopeless FX, aka Joey. Yeah. Trying to be a little bit more personal on these instead of just being straight to the point about trading. It is 5:11 a.m. here. I'm tired as shit. I should probably put that with my clock. Oh well. Anyways, I've got my chai tea here. If you can see, it's a shark mug. There we go. As the tea heats up, or as the mug heats up, you can see the sharks underneath all the kids swimming. It's kind of funny, a little morbid. But my girlfriend's obsessed with sharks, so we have a lot of shark stuff everywhere around the house. We have a megalodon tooth, we have a jaw, we have a whole bunch of shark knickknacks. If I ever wonder what to buy her for a present, it's pretty simple. Just buy her something shark related. Okay. Alright. So first things first, as always, taking a look at the news. We have... the JOLTS job openings tomorrow, as well as non-farm employment and unemployment on Thursday. So some big US folders this week. I get to update my record because, well, I do have a winning trade after 6 or 7 losers. It's tough. It's tough to be in a losing streak like that. But so this is the sort of the learning lesson for today. I've been listening to this podcast on Spotify. Give me a sec. It is called Trading Psychology, the Think Profit Podcast. And most episodes are pretty short. They're in the order of like 10 minutes. But they raise a good point, and that is many people system switch too early. They go under a losing streak. They lock in, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 losing trades in a row. And they think, oh shit, my system's bust, I need to change it. However, is your system bust, or are you going through a losing streak? If you went through 10 wins in a row and you've already backtested your system to only be like a 50 or 55% win rate, it would be a winning streak. Like, your system wouldn't all of a sudden just be better. And just like when you're on a losing streak, are you sure your system's bust, or are you sure that probabilistically, and it's important to try to think in probabilities here, what's the probability of you going on a losing streak? What's the probability of you losing 6 or 7 trades in a row? Is that feasible? Is that something that's likely to happen? Then do you need to change something? I mean, there were some mistakes that I made last week with the trades. I think some trades, I don't think any trade I was super upset about last week, but there were some mistakes I could have updated. So anyways, we're back. I say we're back on the horse. We could easily launch back into a losing trade. We're gonna try not to. So this is the trade, the winning trade, this EURGBP. We got into it around we got into it on the 24th of May. It kind of went down to the support level, came back up, and came back down again. Yeah. quick and easy win. Let's quickly review some of our entries from yesterday. So we didn't get into any entries, but this USD and USDCHF, we were looking to get into long positions. So we have this trend down, and now we're into this ascending channel. We have this previous level of resistance. Unfortunately, it hasn't really been a level of support, so we're a little bit weary. I would say there's another level down here where it has actually been support, and there's another level down this one's not that strong of a level either, but these are all decent levels of support that we could adjust to, so we don't necessarily have to take it here. We can take it down here, we can possibly even take it here, although the lower and lower it goes, obviously the less likely we are to believe it's bullish again. So that's that trade. This USDCAD, we can take it down here at this level, or down here at this level. Like here. But for now, we just monitor. We have our alarm set so we know when to get in, or we have our alarm set so we know when price actually does come down to the level. But until then, we are closely monitoring. These are hourly support, resistance, and trend line trades. So I like to call it my 1H SR plus T trade. I should create fancy names for my strategies so they don't sound as informal like a scientist. No, not scientist name planets. They just name it like, this is planet XKB231. Well, that's what my strategies are named. They are 5-minute SR minus T, 5-minute SR plus T, 1 hour SR plus T, and 1 hour SR minus T. That's literally what my strategies are called. So maybe I should rename them into something cooler. Anyways, enough about the silly names of strategies. Let's see, AUDCAD doesn't seem like it's done overly much since yesterday. We had this nice drop and then rebound. Let's quickly check back on the news. No Australian news, so that's all just the price action. Not much on the hourly or 5-minute. AUDCHF hourly kind of broke through this level. Similarly had a price drop and came back up. If we look at it on the 5-minute, I'm going to imagine this is going to be pretty similar to most of the AUD pairs. Price drop from about 6 o'clock yesterday to close to the market, or the London Open, and then back up. So a lot of retracement. Not much here. 5-minute, yep, drop, price come back. On the hourly, can't say I'm seeing a whole lot here. AUDNZD, same thing, price down, price up. Alright, AUD, price down, price up. So for whatever reason, the Asian session wanted to really sell, and the London session wanted to really buy. Not much there. CADCHF, very much the opposite of the Australian dollar. Price goes up and back down. I wonder what different Forex pairs are going to show the inverse of the Australian. Nice sort of rejection at this previous level of supply. I can't say we're seeing any price action that looks similar to the pattern that I would normally trade, so we are staying out for now. CADJPY. Interesting. Price went up, down, up, down. So it looks like the yen is down across the board except for the British yen. So the Australian yen, CAD yen, Euro yen, New Zealand yen, and USD yen are all down. A decent chunk looks to be anywhere from 0.2 to 0.5%. And then the British pound, the British yen is up 0.2%. So the question is this a viable entry? We do have this trendline support. We do have this break and retest here. The worry is that we have this double top. It's not a not like an ascending channel, which is typically what I'd like to see. So what I mean by that is as price finds support here, it breaks high, touches, breaks high, touches, goes. But because we have a bit more of a double top here, this could be a reversal pattern. Let's see. Well, we're gonna throw them on the watch list. There could be an opportunity for a trade here. Let's just move along. Similarly, CADCHF. A lot of variable price action yesterday that was missed from myself. Lots of quick rejections and rebounds. On the hourly, similarly, he seems like he's creating a bit of a roof, a hard roof. I had already gotten it wrong because I had sold, I think somewhere right here. I had ended up selling and ended up taking a loss right there, like up around here or something. So I'm trying to be wary not to sell against something that's obviously very bullish. Euro AUD, can't say we're doing much with this guy either. Although he looks like maybe this could be a support or new support that was previously resistance. So EURCAD in this bit of a channel, broke out below, found support again at these levels, and is continuing higher. Not much here. Euro AUD, not much here. EURCHF. We did have a limit order on EURCHF, but it was something like 0.976. And we got rid of that limit order this morning, so we are not getting into a trade if it gets that high. I mean, maybe. Kind of depends how price action looks. He's still well within this channel, so there could be an opportunity to get into a sell. But not right now. EUROJ. Again, a lot of the yen pairs look like potentially good opportunities for a buy. but they are also quite weak today. So they could rebound, and they could just fall lower. We want to make sure that we give ourselves the best opportunity. Could be a good opportunity to get into a sell where price to come up. That's so poorly drawn, but you get the idea. We are looking for sells on EURGBP. He is still bullish. He's broken below this level of support. We'll probably come back up into this level, and then we can look for an opportunity for a sell. EURNZD is still doing very well, rallying off the interest rate decision on the NZD last week. We're probably just gonna continue to leave him alone. Not much of, I mean, he's trading in a bit of a channel here, and I like to trade ascending and descending channels, not horizontal channels, so I'm gonna leave him be. EUROUSD, possible good opportunity to get into a sell as price comes up a little higher. It's kind of tough though. He's found some good support here. GBPAUD is continuing higher. We're gonna have to remark up this chart. Price action looks a little sketchy, so not necessarily anything we're looking at doing here. GBPCAD, pretty similar. We had this sort of level of structure here. Price broke down, rejected from this previous level 1, 2, 3 times, and it looks like he's breaking above. So could be an opportunity for a break and retest at this level, but we will wait and see. I'm just curious. Had I sold here? We were looking to get into a sell in GBPCAD at around that level, and then we didn't just because we were a little worried. But I think we could have nailed a quick 2-to-1. Oh well. Oh man. Alright, GBPCHF. We definitely have this lower high price action here. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So in an ideal world, we're probably looking for a sell. However, the British pound is actually quite strong today. Everything's up by at least 0.5%, except for the British yen, which is still up today compared to its compatriots, which are down 0.5%. shows the strength of the British pound this morning. We're not necessarily looking for anything to right. We talked about this guy. I think his previous high was around 2.055. Nope. Yeah. High was 2.053. So he's reached more or less the highs from back here in February. Another previous high point, so there's a lot of resistance here. I don't necessarily know that I'd be keen on getting into a sell just yet. Let's sort of review some of our levels. Yeah, kind of some wonky price action, so we're just gonna leave it. GU, oh man, I wonder if I would have taken that sell. It's tough. It's a decent level of market structure, but it's just, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a very strong one. Yeah. GU is definitely something we had on our radar to sell based on this trend down, but I think we're just gonna leave it. NZDCAD, we're looking at getting into a buy, maybe a little lower along the trend line. If we can match it up with a decent level of price action to the left here. I can't say I see any levels that are, so that's where price is right now. It's broken well below that line. Yeah, I was just gonna say I don't think I see any really valuable levels of price action to the left here that make me think, yeah, that's a good turning point. Like I can see where along the trend line as well as where somewhere to the left price might respect and bounce. So we're just gonna ignore that. Similarly with NZDCHF. Price had already broken below this previous low, this low. I'm expecting price to come up at some point and we'll look for a sell. But for now we just leave him be. We're not trying to buy, we're not trying to sell at this low. We're just letting it stew. NZDCHF or JPY. Kiwi yen did have some previously good price action, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high, higher high, higher high. Has this weird little bounce here, so gives a lot of suggested weakness. So not really looking for a buy at this level right now. NZDU. Interesting. Good level of structure. Broke past this previous low, has already rejected off of that. retested and continued to break down lower. It's sort of accumulating here, but price could honestly go up or down. I'm not super bothered either way. Yeah, I think the three trades we're sort of sticking with here is the USDCAD, USDCHF, CADJPY. That's it, just those three. Okay. That is it for the analysis. I almost forgot our indices. US 30 on that nice breakdown and retest up. US 100 is continuing up higher. Wow, nice. US 500 is continuing higher. Again, I'm not much of an indices or gold trader, so I can't say I provide much valuable input. I think gold is still setting up where we could go short at 2000, but the longer and longer it takes to get up there, the less inclined I am to take it when he gets up there. Like, I would have wanted something like this as opposed to something like this. That's just kind of how I see it. In the short term, I would have expected a rejection at 2000. In the long term, if he gets back up there, he's more likely to just continue bullish. So we are just gonna ignore that. Anyways, those are all the trades. That's the analysis for today. Let's get into a little bit of education at the end. I feel like I should probably just, have a little bit of education at the end, maybe even talk about it. The education at the end. So this is obviously TradingView. I cannot remember for the life of me what the regular version offers. I know you only get so many indicators, so you can't like load yourself up with 5 indicators. I think you get like 2 or 3 indicators tops. I don't know what your market list is allowed to look like. I have a full list. Let me just show you. So you can see on the right hand side here, I have a full list of all 28 Forex pairs that I follow, as well as US 30, US 100, US 500, and gold. Everything I mark up in pink is what I want to view that day, or what I think is a good opportunity that day. Everything here is a prior trade. It's marked in blue intentionally, so that way if I swap over to a different list, I know which ones are my prior trades, which means they're all marked up with my winners and losers. And this is a good opportunity. I don't know if you can do all this on the free version. If you can, excellent. I would recommend it. Is to, let's just say you're trading AUDCAD. There's literally so many AUDCAD pairs that you can, and they're all relatively the same, right? They're going to be off by 1 or 2 pips. It's not a huge consequence. But what you can do is you can say this FXCM one is the one I actively trade, and the one I mark up for all my prior trades is the Solana one, and maybe this one will be the one for all my strategies here, and maybe I'll use this Forex.com one for all my strategies and mark it up differently so that I don't cross-contaminate. So I'm not taking one chart and I'm marking it up with all my winners and losers and marking it up for this strategy and then marking it up for that strategy. I have different AUDCADs, and again, the price is going to be pretty much identical between all 3 of them. So it gives you an opportunity to really see it in a different lens. And especially with marking up prior trades, I would say it's really beneficial to have a list of your prior trades. So for AUDCAD, it's very simple. It's just this single trade back here. I ended up taking an L. And so what most people will do, they take the L, they immediately scrap this, they get rid of their trend lines, they get rid of their trade box idea, and then they just move on to something else, and maybe they journal it, maybe they don't. But it's really important to see how your trades play out, and that's one of the main things. So here, we just chalk this up as a loser. There's not much to learn here. We had this descending price action. We were in this descending channel, this lower time frame channel. Price came up to this level that had previously been a support and kind of was a resistance, so it wasn't the strongest channel. And then price broke above this level, continued higher, and then rejected and came back lower. So not much of an opportunity to learn on this one. But doesn't mean there's not opportunities to learn on other ones. So for example, this AUDCHF trade. Here's a big opportunity to learn on this trade. The main one is I typically get out at 2 to 1s. So this guy wasn't a 3 to 150, or he wasn't a 30 to 150 pip trade. He was actually a 30 to 60 trade. So I actually got out down here. But if I notice, let's just say I start to collect data on all my trades and I notice, okay, maybe my trades actually go a lot further than I think they do. Maybe I can start cashing out a little bit ahead. So let's just say I have a 50% win rate on 2 to 1. So I make 100R and I lose 50R for every 100 trades I take. If you don't know what R is just your risk value. It's just what's set in stone. So if I have a $10 account and I'm risking $1 every time I trade, I am risking that $1 is my 1R. And if I take 100 trades like that, and let's just say I make $2 to my winners and I lose $1 on my losses, I end up making $50 at the end of 100 trades, hypothetically speaking. Okay, what if I saw my trades and I realized that my trades actually typically go quite further? They go at least 3R for a majority of those trades. Then let's just say I hypothetically have a 45% win rate with a 3R strategy. So I actually lose about 5% more, but on all those winning trades, I make 3R. So now instead of making 100R on 50 trades, I make 135R on 45 trades. And it's minus 55 again, so it's 80 instead of 50. So that's 45 times 3 is 45, 90, 135. And then the 55 losses is 135 minus 55 is 80. So now I win. I make 80R off those 100 trades instead of 50R off the 50 trades from before, when I was only making 2R. Oh, that wasn't too confusing. I'm gonna make a video about this at some point. But the idea is, people are always, again, from the Spotify podcast I was listening to, go ahead, listen to them. I'm not paid to advertise them. I think it's the Think Profit podcast. Most people always try to time their entries. They're always thinking, oh man, if I could just get a better entry, if I could just reduce my risk, I can make so much more money. And it's true, right? Like here I put a 30 pip stop loss, and let's just say I would have gone for the whole 150 pips. You want to know the quickest way for me to really ramp that up? Had I gone for a 150 stop loss. If I went for 150 stop loss, sure, that the odds of me getting stopped out are higher, but in this scenario, I wouldn't have been, and it would have been a 10-hour trade. And that 10-hour trade, that's a significant trade. Is that going to happen a lot less often? Of course it is. The higher your R goes on a trade, the less likely it is to happen. It's just common sense. It's just statistics. You're less likely to make these big profit trades than you are to make a small one. But you need to be able to find the R multiple for your trading that is the most profitable to you. Like maybe, you know, most people who are beginner traders, they're very quick to get out of a trade. So you see this little circle here, that's 1R. You see that circle? That's what I would have achieved if I had a strategy where I took 1R and then got out at break even. I would have made a half R, because that 1 to 1R I would have got out half at 1, and then I would have closed the rest at break even, the other half up there. And instead I let it rock to 2R and I made 2R. We can sort of review some previous trades. Here are 2 odd yen trades that I took. Again, 2R trades. Could have aimed a little higher, could have asked for a little bit more. That's okay. AUDNZD, this one's a bit of a loser. CADCHF, both losers. So loser here. But in this scenario, the learning is that this guy, the entry was just poorly placed. So in this case, we do want to focus more on the entry. So what I did was I saw the trend line coming down, I saw price coming, and I was expecting a reversal. And I was actually right in this case, but I got in a little too early. I got in too early, or I kept my risk a little too tight. What I needed to do was look left and think, okay, I know I want to trade along this trend line, but where's a good opportunity to really get in? Let's look left. Okay, we have this low here. So we have this low on this candle, we have this low on this candle at about 66275. Let's get in at 66275 right down here. Oh wow, all of a sudden, if I drag this down to 26675, I not only have this quick reversal and I get my 2 to 1, I could have easily nailed the highest profit potential of a 5 to 1. Well, technically higher than 5 to 1, but you get the idea. So that was something important to note. Same thing here, this CADCHF trade. This one was more with the trend. Okay, how could I have done better here? Okay, I was basing my price level off of this previous support turned resistance. Could I have gone up here and used this previous resistance level? Yes. You know, maybe I could have waited for price to come up here, or maybe by the time price came up there, I would have been disinterested. I would have said, oh, it's already broken out of the trend. We're not looking to get into it. So this is just a couple of examples. I mean, I have 28 Forex pairs. I will eventually at some point have 28 prior trade pairs. I don't have 28 prior trade pairs yet, but it's a good example, a good way for me to review prior trades and make sure I'm learning every single time. You know, you don't want to just store your trades and then never look at them. You really need to look at your trades, review them, review your entries, review your exits, possibly if you have some notes about it, review your psychology. Hi, my dog's here. My girlfriend took off to go for a run and didn't take her, and now she's upset. She doesn't know what's going on because she normally goes for a walk in the morning. Come here. So yes, journaling in trading is incredibly important, but you can't just journal. You need to be able to review. And even what I'm doing with you right now isn't the the best way to review. I use a trading journal called Edgewonk, It analyzes all of my trades. I get to categorize them. It takes a little bit more effort, but I think by having a bit greater detail, you're able to see the minute details of how your trading is working and isn't working. Of course, you need to have pretty big data sets, and I've only started using that journal very recently, so my data set consists of something like 40 trades, and I'm looking to really get into good analysis once I get into about 100 trades worth of data. So that'll take 5 months. I get about 20 trades a month, I think. So yeah, that's it for the learning education today. Journaling is huge, and if you can, use TradingView to store or save your data. Follow your trades, that's a huge one. Don't just, if you have a winning trade or a losing trade, say, okay, that's it. Follow your trades, see what happens. Could you have gotten more out of that trade for your winners? Could you have had a better entry for your losers? Can you learn from that and change your trade for next time? Okay, that's all. Thank you. Good luck on your trades. Happy Tuesday, I guess. Tuesday's happy? Probably not. Anyways, see ya.